Well, welcome back, one and all family. Another week, book club. I appreciate you guys being in the house and stuff today. Another Thursday, first Thursday of February. Can't believe January is already gone, already nuts. Doesn't make any sense how fast these months go, but maybe that's just a thing when you get a little bit older. I don't know. Maybe it's just one of them things. I'm still getting used to it. I don't know, maybe because the days are shorter or something like that. It just feels like every day is like boom, 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 boom. I don't know. It's just one of those things. Or maybe it could be because I'm doing a whole bunch of little projects right now that make the day go like this. Yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those crazy little things. But I'm glad to be here. Glad to be here with you guys. Thank you so much for joining us yet again. And we've got another great show for you. Got a great special guest and stuff today. My man KCK is going to come on here in just a little bit. So glad that he will be a part of the show. We'll be able to talk to him, ask him some questions, man. Good dude. He'll be coming to us from the West Coast, which is great. So really appreciate him taking out the time to be able to do that. Before we get started, if you guys could just let me know, what you guys are hearing, whether or not it is crispy and all that stuff. I just have to make sure that, it's crazy. I have to say this every week, but there was that one show that somebody, a bunch of you guys couldn't hear me and stuff. And I took that for granted. I thought that, every week I could just walk in and it'll be good, but I have to ask for it every week because I want to make sure that I don't do a whole show and you can't hear me, because that would suck. That would suck. That's like putting out a video and half the video is muted. Like, that would suck. You guys would be like, I'm not watching this. You would turn it off. You know, it's just one of them type deals, man. So that's why I'm trying to make sure that you can hear me okay. Good. DJ G Kenny gave me the thumbs up that we are good, which is great. Now, did any of you guys see the craziness that went on and stuff at the end of last week, beginning of this week, leading all the way into today? If you didn't have a chance to, I don't have any clips or anything like that for you, but apparently, there were some guys that had some strong opinions about the new Alpha Theta controller. And my guy Rick Webb, he he decided that he was going to make a rant video, which is fine. Nothing wrong with a rant video. People do rant videos all the time. I rant on here. But he decided to make the video, and he I guess some of the wording and stuff that he used kind of rubbed some guys the wrong way. So come Tuesday of this week, Nick Spinelli on his show, addressed it and said that Rick may be burning some bridges and stuff out there because of who he was talking about. And he was calling out pretty much the guys that received the controller and stuff initially, that Pioneer / Alpha Theta, send to these guys and stuff early so they can review it and give us an honest opinion. I mean, that's really the goal of these companies. What they do is to send the equipment out early, let everybody do a video, play with it, do a video and stuff on it, release it when it's released out to the public. That way we can get it, honest review. Most of the time the reviews sound about the same. What's great about the controller, you don't have a lot of negative things. And I could see why Rick would down the controller. Hell, even on the show last week, I downed the controller. I was not a fan of the controller. But I think he went on to just talk about the people who get it and why they get it and if they get paid to get it. It's crazy. Anyway, so Nick had his saying and stuff on Tuesday. And then today I check out my man Cleveland Terry, friend of the show, great guy, of course. Man, he goes on his live stream and he is a little bit, I guess you would kind of say he's concerned. He was concerned initially, but it all got cleared up, thank goodness. And everybody's back to everything. But it was drama filled where there was not supposed to be any drama. I think the viewers and stuff of these videos, the chats and stuff of these videos got a hold of, the initial video from Rick and just kind of took it out. I mean, Cleveland Terry was getting some messages and stuff on his videos, that, are not becoming of anything. It doesn't represent anything that he represents. And I think it just kind of perturbed him that was the part. He really wasn't too mad at Rick because Rick put out an apology video and everything. But I think he was a little perturbed and stuff at some of the stuff that was being said on his videos. And it just sucks. It sucks and stuff, man, because, we as influencers try to come on here and try to give you guys, the best information that we can. And we try to tell you the truth. And sometimes some truths or some ideas, some opinions bleed over and boil over and stuff. So it's just one of those things and stuff where it was just, it got cleared up. Let's just say that, because I don't want to say the wrong thing on here. And before you know it, next thing you know, Cleveland might be ringing my phone, or Rick might be ringing my phone for what reason? I don't know why. I mean, if we need to talk about it, we could talk. I'm just joking. That's just one of them things, man. But look, I'm glad they got it resolved. And I think the thing that our mothers used to tell us a long time ago, choose your words wisely. I think that just plays a part and stuff here. So make sure when you're saying what you got to say, giving your opinion, you're choosing your words wisely. You know, word to the wise. So anyway, I think Cleveland handled it well. He handled it very long-windedly, as only Cleveland Terry can do. I think his first hour and a half of his live stream today was based on this topic, which I was like, whoa, I didn't even realize an hour and a half had gone by. But yeah, an hour and a half went by and we on this topic. And look, I watch these guys' shows and stuff like that, man. They have some great ideas and I like to learn and stuff just as much as you guys like to learn. So, you know, you may catch me on some of their shows. I'll throw a comment and stuff in there, here and there, but it's, just be careful what you ask for. That's all I can say. Oh man, let's just check the chat out. Check the chat out before we get started and stuff here and see who's in the house. We got my man DJ G5 in the building. What's good? DJ J Torture in the building. What's happening? DJ G Kenny, what is happening? What's happening? What do you say here? DJ G Kenny, Jay wearing the Debo chain and looking fresh. Hey man, look. You know, I realized I looked back at a couple of the my videos and stuff that I did because I think I forgot to put subscribe in the next video. You know how you're supposed to do that at the end of some of the videos, and I noticed I don't ever wear my chain and stuff like that. But yeah, it is the Debo chain. Call it the Debo chain. So yeah, I do appreciate you. You guys notice some of the craziest stuff. Denny D, what's happening, man? Good to see you. Glad you're here. And let's see here. I think that's everybody from the chat and stuff. If you could do me a favor and just hit the like button on your way in. If you're enjoying all the content and everything that comes out from the channel, if you keep wanting me to put stuff out, let me give you a quick update. Quick update on a couple things. One, I am this close to finishing my Twitch setup. I actually tested it and stuff last night, and I have been working very hard to do some Twitch stuff. So I think I am finally ready to go live. So if you guys want to, you can follow me on Twitch. I haven't brought this up here in a minute, but Twitch at DJ JayBook. Because I will be going live and stuff on there as I've set up this whole setup, man. And let me tell you, it's very complicated to make stuff talk to each other and make it talk all the time and without hesitation. It is a task. It is definitely a task. It has been a task, but I feel like I can be confident to go on there and be okay. So if you guys want to follow me on Twitch, and I will be DJing on there. Now, the only bad news about Twitch is that it's a pain in the butt for me, at least, to set up a Twitch account. But once you set it up, it's all good and stuff after that. Another bad thing about Twitch is I've run out of moving platter tables and stuff. I don't have any turntables or anything like that left to be able to use. So I will be using the 1000 SRT on there, which is fine and stuff to me. I just didn't want you guys' expectation to be completely through the roof, and then you see me with the 1000, you're like, bro, what are you doing? You know, so just as a heads up, I will be using the 1000 SRT. Works just as good. Still gets music out, so I'm all good. That is great. So yeah, make sure you follow me at DJ JayBook on Twitch, and it will be all good. Now, let's get into last week, because last week I actually had an event, believe it or not. I had a wedding, first wedding of 2024, other than the New Year's wedding that brought in 2024. This was the first wedding. And guys, there was some interesting stuff that happened at this one. This was the setup and stuff here. The only thing you're not really seeing is the uplights and everything that was around the room. We had photo booth as well. That was out, which was great. But over by that door that's over there, if you look down at the floor, you could see that there's one uplight and stuff right there. But We did the uplights and it looked great. But I just had I had these. I want to kind of call it the look. Let's talk about the look. And I don't know if all DJs get this or my fellow African American DJs get this, but when you go do a majority event where you are the minority at the event, we'll just say that. I always get this, and this is, I'm going to use the word always because I always do. It's without fail. It's like almost to be expected now, but I always get this look from the older crowd, and they look at me like, oh gosh, like, are you going to be able to play the music we like? Is this going to be great music? And I think they forget that a DJ plays all music. And like in that instance, I'm just a hip hop and rap DJ in that very instance. And then at the end of the night, it's like kind of rewarding that at the end of the night, you know, they're like, oh my God, we had such a great time, because it's like you change their perspective of your career choice or your hobby choice. And I got that look and stuff again. And some of the stuff that I was playing, I had older people and stuff, you know, dancing before we even got to dinner, and dancing during cocktail hour. And some people even started dancing during cake cutting. And, you know, I even had another guy who just kept asking me for music that is not appealing to all crowds all the time. And I had already kind of played past that point. And it just still, you know, he was just kind of upset. But look, you can't please everybody. As long as mom, dad, bride, groom are happy, in my eyes, we're good. We're good. It's a successful night. So this one, you know, I think I will put out a gig log and stuff on this one. I believe I will. I think I got enough good content. And guess what? Nobody kicked the camera. Nobody kicked the camera. Thank you. And the only way that I can save it is that I had it over by me. So I was actually checking in on my phone to make sure that people were not kicking it. I got a great view. So I'm hoping that, please, have great footage the whole night. But it was a good night. Good night. They had a lot of good music and stuff on there. She wanted more of a classic vibe. So that's what I gave her. So no early 2000s stuff on this one that's coming up. So that was good. Okay. Let me get my headphones here. We have the man of the hour in the building. Oh, I'm going to put on my headphones here. Devon Mathiasen, what's going on? Trinity in the house. What's happening? Yeah, Jay, brother, I can relate, bro. Some of my brethren DJs can understand exactly what I mean when we go into some of these events. It's a little different. Not everybody gets the same A-OK initially, so it's all good. All right, so today, ladies and gentlemen, I've got a great guest for you guys. I have watched this young man's content and stuff on YouTube. That's where I found him and stuff at. He's got some great gig logs. He is an up and coming YouTube DJ, but he has been DJing, you know, well before that. And he decided to go put his content and stuff online for everybody to see. He's got great stuff. He reminds me a lot of me and stuff, how he mixes. He does a great job in mixing music. You can grab some great tips and stuff from him. And man, we going all the way to the West Coast and stuff today, guys. Yeah, I pulled him from the West Coast. So ladies and gentlemen, from Portland, Oregon, welcome in DJ Casey K. What's happening, bro?
How's it going?
All right, so now, Casey, we tried this yesterday, and it sounded great. Now, if you will turn your volume up just a little bit, it sounds like it's a little low in my ear.
Can you hear me all right now?
Oh, there we go. That's perfect. That's perfect. All right, so my man, Casey K, is in the house, man. Good to have you. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight. And we just gonna chop it up and stuff a little bit, man. Like I said, I don't have really a script and stuff tonight. We just gonna talk and
Yeah,
stuff in
no,
general.
I'm all about it. Sounds
Yeah,
good.
good, good. So now, guys, I want you to check out, Casey's background, man. When he pulled this up last night, I was like, whoa, like look at this background. Like he looks like he is in a club, and we don't see a whole lot of stuff like that over here on the East Coast. So I like it. I like the way it looks. It looks pretty dope, man. You got a great setup and stuff back there. So let's get started, man. Let's ask, the question that I ask every DJ when they come on here. Like, how did you get your start in DJing? And was weddings the first thing you did, or were you in a club first, or were you in bars first? Like, how did you get your start?
Yeah, so I'm 39. I was 16, and one of my friends brought me to a rave. This was like 2001, so it was like back in the, so when it was not mainstream. And I fell in love with the DJ. There's hundreds of people there, and it was a wild night. And I knew that's what I wanted to do. I was in front of the decks for at least like 6 hours straight, dancing all night. I was like 16 or 17. I worked all that summer to buy a pair of belt drive turntables, and I started doing clubs within the next like year or so, just kind of like all agers. And then when I became 18, it was kind of like pretty much adult-esque. And then, I moved here. That was up in Seattle. And then I moved down to Portland in 2006. I think I was like 23, somewhere around there. And then kind of still doing the EDM thing. And then I jumped into the hip hop top 40 type deal. And I did a wedding like 12 years ago, just randomly, and it just snowballed. And now it's my full-time career. I never thought I'd be a full-time DJ, but here I am. I'm living the dream, baby.
That's crazy because, like, a lot of people, it looks like everybody kind of goes to an event, sees the DJ, and they're like, I like what happens when the DJ does his thing. And, like, I want to try that. So, like, that's kind of how I kind of fell in love with it too. I saw an event, but I saw a wedding. Like, I was used to going to clubs, but it was like, as long as the DJ plays the music that I like, I'm good. Like, I never really was like, oh, let me go up there and see what he's doing, until I saw this guy who wanted to go and do weddings, and I was like, wait, there's DJs for weddings? Like, I didn't go to a lot of weddings, as you could tell. And so, I kind of fell in love with that side of it here. So, like, what made you transition? If you were in a club first, you normally, when you're in a club, you kind of just keep rolling with clubs. Like, you jump from this club to that club, and your name's kind of thrown around town, and you do those gigs for quite some time. But what allowed you to be able to jump over to weddings?
Yeah, so if you're a club DJ, you know that there's a lifestyle that comes with it. I've been with my wife for like 20 years. She was with me through me getting home at 6 a.m. every weekend for years on end. And then once I started to get into the wedding side of things, I realized, hey, I'm getting paid a lot of money, and it just seems like a better fit for me. So I started to throw most of my chips into that hat, so to speak. And then, again, I'm 39. I can't stay out all night. It's not my jam anymore. I like to be home, at a relatively easy hour. But yeah, the money and fun is the best thing I can say about weddings. It's just a bunch of fun on a bun. The money's great. You do got to pay your dues and start off, making not very much, and you got to learn. And then as you build your skills, the paychecks will come with it. And so I think it was a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B.
All right. So, I mean, you speak about skills and stuff like that. So how were your skills starting off? Because, did you start off as a turntablist? Were you right into a controller? Did you have to learn the wedding scene first and then take off? Did you go with a company? Like, how did it start for you?
No, super good question. It was definitely with a company. I'm still with that company. I've been with them over 10 years. I just do my own thing now for the most part. I train a lot of their DJs. I'm their sales manager, so I do sales calls and make commissions off that. I also still DJ for them. Just shout out Stumptown DJs, Portland, Oregon. They got me started. They took a chance on me as a club DJ. And yeah, they trained me and got me going. It's a small, tight group of people, and proud to be part of them, but if you're, if I could make a recommendation to anyone who's trying to make this their career, find a company, find a reputable company to give you some training, and then go that route. And then as soon as you build your skills and build your name, maybe branch out on your own. But it's a great way to get started. And I was on turntables because that's all that there was back in the day. As you can see, I got my Cross 12s back here, have some
Oh, yeah.
Technics in storage. But that's my heart. Turntables will always be what I do for fun. When I was doing weddings, I just bought a little controller at the time. I think it was the ADJ. I can't even remember. It was just a little 4-channel rinky-dink controller, but it did the job. I wasn't really too happy playing on it, but I was able to mix a little bit and kind of learn. And I think it was maybe like 5 or 6 years ago when my first real controller was probably like the SZ2 or something like that. And
Okay.
now I play on the Rev 7, which is just the best of both worlds.
Yes, it is. It is. It was a learning curve for me because I didn't come from the turntable world. I came from the controller world and had to learn the turntable world, and still am learning the turntable world. And it's let's just say it's a pretty big learning curve. Of course, if you know turntables, it's much easier to come down to controllers. But the other way around, it's almost night and day. It's
Yeah,
almost night and
clearly.
day. So it's kudos to you. Kudos to you for taking the route you did. I've told these guys and stuff that come watch the show. I get asked that question. What's the best thing for a beginner DJ to do? And the first thing I tell them, find a company, a reputable company that's in your town, in your city, and join them and watch and learn and let them teach you, and then put your own spin on it so you can separate yourself from the other guys, because everybody that's usually in a company are going to be almost alike. Even the company that I was with, a lot of the DJs were kind of the same. So it's like you have to do something that separates yourself from the other guys so that you can get booked more and you get more exposure and you get more experience and you learn more. So stuff like that. So I mean, look, you're saying all the same stuff that I tell people, so that's just fantastic. Um, so you actually teach. You say you teach some of the other DJs. So new DJs that come in, you kind of take them under your wing, and are they like your roadie, or do you teach like a class for them?
No, yeah, it's the first one. So they'll come along as an assistant. Even if we don't just hire anyone, you have to be a DJ. You have to know how to put a song on.
Okay.
You don't necessarily have to know how to, do everything. Clearly, all I was doing was rocking crowds. I had no idea what I was doing with MC skills. And before a grand entrance, I'd shake like a leaf. You just got to learn and go in there and kind of trial and error until you figure it out. But to answer your question, I'm kind of like, the mentor of the, I don't know, I hate like boosting myself up. But yeah, I try to help out as much as possible. So the new DJs that come onto our company, I'll train them and have them just assist me and see how I do it. And then during dancing time, I might throw them in for a couple songs, be like, hey, here's 2 songs that are going to mix well together. Get it. Let's see what you got. And just kind of throw them into the water and see if they can swim.
That's what's up. Hey, sink or swim. That's what they say. So you got to throw them out to the wolves, see what happens to the sharks, and let them see what they can do. I mean, that's how you know where you need to start from and where you need to go to. So that's cool. So now weddings, of course, over on the East Coast and weddings on the West Coast, so totally different in style. I mean, of course, two people are getting up there, getting married, but like, what's the average time that you do an event? It looks like from your videos that you almost do the exact same order, but I think you do it just a little slightly different out there on the West Coast, right?
Yeah, these questions are great, man. It's definitely different. There's just a different vibe, and that's totally understandable. I'm sure it's probably that way in other parts of the country as well. So, most weddings here in Oregon, Oregon's beautiful. So, there's a lot of outdoor weddings. That's one of the downfalls. It's great. It's great to look at, but from a working standpoint, being outside, it's not the best when it's beating hot outside or it's cold, but for the most part, it does feel somewhat okay. So usually weddings are like a 4 to a 10 situation. A lot of these outdoor venues will have a 10 p.m. cutoff limit, but we'll do like, arrival music for half an hour, ceremony for half an hour, cocktails for a half an hour or an hour, dinner for an hour, toasts, cake, first dance, parent dances, and then dancing usually for about 2 hours.
Oh wow. Okay. So what we see on film, that's just a 2 hour set
Yeah,
normally, kind
sometimes.
of rangy.
Sometimes. Yeah, it really depends, but I'd say most of the sets that I do at the end of the night are 2 hours. I've had some that are, like, up to 4 hours, but after 3, it's kinda like a fork in the
Yeah.
brain. You're just
Yeah.
like, "Alright, dude, I'm just pressing play on this next
Right.
song. I have nowhere to go from here."
I totally agree with that. Some of these. So I've had a couple of couples that they're like, oh, we want to give you as much time as possible. I'm like, well, let's not give me too much time. I don't want to wear people out and stuff like that, because I can drag on some music. But doing a 4 hour set or a 3.5 hour set or a 3 hour set at a wedding, that's extreme. That's extreme to play. It's hard to keep people's attention for that long. It's hard to play great music for that long without somebody saying, "Hey, can we go do this? Can we go do that?" Like it's a task. It definitely is a task. And kudos to you for only having mostly 2 hour sets that you have to go through. So that's great. So now you use the Rev 7, and I think you use some type of furniture, right? Like, don't you use DJ furniture or like a stand or something like that? Like, like, is the style the same over there as it is over here as far as setups and everything goes?
So it's a lot more luxurious over on the East Coast, and I get so many ideas from YouTube DJs. I mean, again, I've been following you for years on end. The Holy Trinity, Spinelli, Barr, and Weber. Just watching them and getting ideas from what they do is, a lot of us owe a lot to them, and nothing but respect to them. But I do use the Danny Max booth.
Okay.
It's amazing. I did have the Pro X control tower, but I'm 6'3", so I was hunched over that bad boy. And, at the end of the night, my lower back was just on fire. So I
Yes.
found the Danny Max booth, which is just a few inches taller, but it makes all the difference.
All the difference.
Getting old, like, at the end of the night, I'm doing 3 weddings every weekend during the summer months. And by
Oh.
Sunday, my back's like, let's take a break, bud.
I don't think a lot of people know the pain of being that tall and the table and stuff when you have to hunch over, because a normal table is probably about 4 feet, 4.5 feet tall, and then you have to get your equipment to boost up to get to where you can actually be comfortable and not hunched over. And it is such a struggle. That's why I love my what's the name of my stereo T, my horror board setup, because I was so worried, and I kept contacting them like, does it come up to my stomach? Does it come up to my waist and stuff? Like, it has to, otherwise this is pointless. And it actually did and stuff like that. But yeah, the height of a DJ. I was watching another DJ earlier today, and I just got so mad and stuff for him, not because of what he played, but because he was 5'6", and having a table right in front of you, it's fantastic for him. He doesn't have to do anything. He doesn't feel my pain. His back's not aching at the end of the night, which is so aggravating. And it is.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'3".
Oh yeah,
yeah.
My
I'm
brother
6'3". Right. That's what I said. People don't understand what it means to be this tall. It sucks. It truly sucks to be tall and be a DJ.
Yeah, a blessing and a curse. I mean,
Yes.
I'd much rather be tall than be short, but there's a lot of aspects where this world is not built for tall people, and our backs will suffer for it.
Yeah,
How tall
absolutely.
is your whole power board? That thing's beautiful, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I got the idea from Nick Spinelli, of all people, and DJ Rivas. They kind of introduced me to the whole board, and I think it comes up to like, I want to say it's about 5 feet, maybe.
Wow.
Maybe a little bit taller, maybe that, but it helps out so much. So I think it's about 5 feet tall. And it's no light feat at all. Like, it is a monster. People get on me all the time because I'm like, I try to see if I can move it and maneuver it and put it back in its case and stuff myself. And it's a monster, man. It is holding 2 Rane MK12s and S11. It's a beast. but I'm like, all I gotta do is just wedge it in, and I can get it. Oh yeah, I can get it in. But it's tough, but it's a great. I would not trade that thing. It is solid wood. You can knock on it just like this table, and it is probably one of the most sturdiest things I've ever used.
That's awesome. So you're keeping all your gear inside of it, not breaking it down. You're picking that bad boy up and shuffling inside of its case at every gig.
Yeah, I kid you not. Like, I'll have the case like right here, and I'll put it right up to where the board is. I'll lean it down just a little bit and lean it against me. Let the back of it touch the bottom of the case, and then lift up in the front and slide it back on the rug, because that's the only way I'm telling you, it's a whole thing. I should have put that in the video so people can see, but it's a
Really
monster,
should.
man. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a monster.
yeah. Next gig, just to like grab a little bit of your setup and tear down. People are interested in that stuff,
Yes,
especially
they
if you're doing
are.
it by yourself. Props, dude. That's crazy. I would need an assistant. Wouldn't want to pick that bad boy up all the time.
Yeah,
I
me either. I actually had an assistant that day, but he canceled on me. So I was faced with no choice. I had zero choice to be able to do it. But I'm glad that I actually know I could do it. But I'm with you. I can't do that every single time. There's no way.
100%. Yeah, it's dope, but you got to go the extra mile every once in a while, and it definitely pays off in the end because it looks absolutely fantastic. Your setup
Yes.
this year compared to, not that you didn't have bad setups in the past, but when I saw it on your video a few months ago, I was like, DZAM, like
Yeah.
it's the creme de la creme right there, my friend.
Yes, it is. I cannot wait to whip that thing out and get it in more places and stuff. Like, now I have to go to venues and stuff all over again. The venues that I've been to hundreds of times, but I have to go back to them early because I have to make sure that they have double doors. That's the only way I can roll this thing in. They have to have double doors because I refuse to carry it or take it out of the case and carry it out, because at the end of the night, I'm not doing that. So
No, not at all.
The doors determine whether you get Rev 7 or if you get the S11. That's the doors make all the difference. So if I don't have enough space to roll that sucker through, you're getting the Rev 7, definitely.
No, and that's another good tip to people listening is plan ahead. Know what you're getting into before you bring what gear you're going to bring to a venue. So smart move.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I have to. I mean, these people are asking for a lot of craziness, and I have to make sure that the venue first will accommodate that, because no need to say yes if you can't, provide it, because that's the fastest way to a 1-star. It is the fastest way to a 1-star. I promise you.
Yeah, I'm fortunate enough, like, knock on wood, wherever sun is at over here. Nothing but 5s so far. I'm sure ones to come.
Yes.
You can't please everyone, and that's just the nature of the beast. Is there's just going to be events that you do where you can do everything right, and somebody's going to focus on that one thing you do wrong and leave you a bad review. Don't let it get you down. Just learn from it. Maybe see if they'll, if I give you a little bit of a refund, will you take it down?
Right. Will you take it down? Well, is there any chance I can get you to remove that?
Maybe $500 back.
Right. So I recently saw Aaron Strawn. He has a video. He does a live stream and stuff too. If you guys don't follow Aaron Strawn, definitely take a look at him. He's like a little brother, a little cousin to Nick. I mean, they talk exactly the same. But he had such a challenging event and stuff here recently, and I felt so bad for him. But I had one that was almost exactly the same without the review part of it. But I had like the dad who was like, I don't care about a packed dance floor. I want you to play my music, and you're gonna play it tonight, and because I'm paying you. And I'm just like, when you're in those predicaments and you're live, you're right there. It's so tough to make that call because you're trying to make a bride's day or a couple's day, but you got the parents who feel like, I don't care if it's their day, I paid you. You know what I'm saying? And it's such a back and forth. So a lot of DJs don't know what to do in that scenario. That's a question. That's a good question for you. In those scenarios, I don't know if you've ever come across that. Yeah. What do you suggest? What are your suggestions for that?
So you got to put the fire out no matter what it is, and that's a big fire to put out by yourself. So what I would do personally, and I did skim through that video, I didn't watch the whole thing, but I got the meat and potatoes from Strawn. Shout out, terrific DJ. I would go, if the dad was coming over to me, I would put a long song on. I'd throw on Billie Jean, and then I'd walk around and I'd go talk to the couple. I'd be like, hey, you guys, I want to make sure that you and your guests are having a good time. Your dad's over here is kind of wanting me to do his own thing. I think it might clear the dance floor. What are your opinions? So you want to make sure that even if the dad's footing the bill, it's not his wedding day. So right. I'd always go to the clients, try not to make it a big deal, pull them off to the side so you're not, spreading juice around, their guests and stepping on their funk, so to speak. But yeah, talk to the couple and see what their plan of action is. Maybe just throw them out a couple songs. Hey, I'm going to belt out like 2 of his requests and then I'll get back to your playlist, just so you're kind of appeasing him, but then going back to the couple. That's probably what I would do.
Well, that is such a good like pet peeve and stuff to have to, always check with the couple. Because when we do these sit down meetings and like the couple is like, sometimes they'll give you a heads up and they'll say, hey, just to let you know, my dad can be, really anal. I've had that before and it's like I'm prepared for it. But even if they don't prepare me for it, like when they say stuff like, hey, once we get to this point, like no more old me. Like I really just want to party. I just want to party. And it's like, it's so tough. Because that's the time when the older crowd usually, kind of has a seat and the kids are just like, woohoo, and stuff like that. So it's kind of tough because I get it all the time. I had, one guy literally walk, in front of me. He kept asking me for an old song, and I had done like a 45-minute set of old music. Like it was time to move to the kids' music. And he was just like, he just kept asking. And then he went and asked another guy to come ask me. And, even though I still didn't play, he walked in front of my booth and he just gave me the finger and just kept going. I mean, I couldn't hear him, but I could look at his lips and read his lips. And he was pretty much like, F me, F this and stuff. And I was just like, you can't please everybody. You can't. And plus he had been drinking and stuff too. So that didn't help. He had a lot of liquor courage, but he didn't have the kahunas to come over and say something to me like crazy like that, So it's one of those tough things, man. I hate that part of the job, but I love, so many different aspects and stuff of it. I hate the end of the night taking down. I hate putting up stuff. I just my dream goal for weddings is to build enough team around me to where they set all that stuff up and all I have to do is walk in and start. I'm telling you, I had a dream about it one time and I said, you know what? That's goals. That's going to be done at least one time. I'm just going to walk in. It's all going to be ready and I'm going to start. I'm going to be able to hit play and go.
Just roadies for days.
Yep.
My issue is I can't find like reliable assistants. Like I would love to hire somebody at least once a week during the peak seasons. Cause I'm doing like 60 weddings a year, somewhere around there. And, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, by the time Sunday rolls around, if I'm doing a gig that's at the beach, it takes me 2 hours to get there. I'm DJing for, I'm there for 10 hours and I'm 2 hours back. I could use some help. But the people that I've tried to find, they're just, they might not show up or they might not be professional at the event. And that's a big no-no. I need to make sure that people are going to be professional and show up when I pay them to. So it's tough. So if you're in Portland, you want to be an assistant, learn how to DJ, holler at your boy.
Casey, I did not realize how much alike we are. I mean, these guys will tell you on here, I have been ranting and raving about getting some structured help just consistently. I mean, I don't think everybody realizes here's some of the complaints I get from people who help me, which is the most insane thing I've ever heard. They're like, do we have to stay the whole time at the event? Like I can't leave and like come back and stuff and then help you take okay. Wait, we have to be there 3 hours before the event starts? Like, wait, that's all day. I mean, I've gotten, oh man. Oh. And then when I like rent equipment, send it over to someplace else, I've gotten, hey man, this doesn't work. And I'm like, bro, I am like over here and you're over here. Like, I swear to God, it worked when I set it up yesterday I believe that's what Casey means when he says about reliable help and consistent help. It is tough. It is tough to find somebody who has and shares the same passion about it that you do. And it's crazy because I'm 2 hours away from my beach. So anytime that I have to go to the beach, I would like a little help. But that's one of the reasons why I had to test my stand to make sure that I could do it myself, because it may be one of those things why I end up setting up my own stuff all the time until that person just happens to come in my life and they're like one of these kids from school or college guy who says, hey, I want to learn how to DJ. I came across your stuff on YouTube. I would love to shadow you. Cool. Let's do it. I'm all for it. Like, what will it take? How often can I get you? So it's just
nice.
One of those things, bro. It is so tough. It's probably one of the toughest things I've had since I've branched out on my own. It's one of the toughest things I've had to endure. I have no problem booking a gig. I have a problem getting help on the gig.
100%. Yeah, it's really difficult. How did you get started? Did you join a company and then branch out on your own?
I did. I told you our paths to where we are now are very, very similar. So the guy who I went with, he was a part of a company, and he had me come on, and I shadowed him for about a year. And then I started getting my own gigs and stuff with the company, and the company started booking me. Well, I went through them for like another 8 years. So I was 8 years with them, or 10 years, somewhere around that. And then wow. It just got to a point where I can just feel like there's more that I can do. I could see that people were requesting me more, and that I could do more. I can get more as far as exposure. And I just made a decision and said, hey, I'm going to try this. And then I just went out on a limb. It wasn't the easiest decision and stuff, of course, but I just went out on a limb, and everything else is a part of a story. And that's why I'm here and stuff right now. So it has been great. It has been fantastic. Probably the best decision I have made, ever. One of the best decisions. So yeah, that's how I got started. I was in the club scene. I was in the bar scene. My first DJ gig ever, before I even joined that company, a guy had me rotating his music for a comedy club. So that was the first time that I was introduced to the actual, lingo of DJing. But I didn't really play a whole lot of music. I just played for his skits and stuff like that. And I've played weekends at a club, and I know what you mean, getting home and crack of dawn and being exhausted and being paid peanuts and stuff there. And then these guys want to just pay you one time for a whole weekend, and it's nuts. I still get that. People, I'll be playing somewhere and somebody be like, hey, can you come DJ for us on Saturdays, on Fridays or Saturday nights, and we'll pay you $300 for the weekend. What? What? We don't,
yeah,
what?
When you're accustomed to thousands of dollars for one night, that's a tough sell.
No,
if it's like fun, if it's like a fun event, like I have some friends who do some like downtown Portland, they have club nights and stuff like that. I'll just go DJ for free. They'll usually give me a couple free drinks, but I'm like, put me on at 10 or 11. I want to be home by 1.
Right. I'm only going to do an hour set, or I'll just turn it over to a buddy and I'll just go there while he does it. I'm just like, hey, I won't do it, but I got a buddy that will knock it out and stuff for you. And then I'll show up and bring, I'll advertise for you, come check out my homeboy at this thing, blah, blah, blah. And all that stuff. So, but I'm past that club part.
yeah, I am too. It's again, every blue moon or something, it's cool to go out and see old friends that I grew up in the DJ scene with. But yeah, when you get accustomed to the big monies and the extravagant events, they're just it's also a lifestyle that comes with it. So it's an easy pass. It
definitely is. We've got somebody in the chat. First of all, G Kenny, thank you for the super chat, bro. That is 100%. I'm grateful for that. Appreciate you. Benny Blanco, if you're still here, he said, what DJs inspired Casey growing up?
So I am, again, starting in the rave scene in 2001. I've got to play with a lot of people that I admired and world famous DJs back in the day, but I don't doubt anybody would even know. So Bad Boy Bill, DJ Dan, Donald Glaude, those are all kind of, old techno heads from the 90s and early 2000s that really inspired me to get with it, taught me how to mix, just listening to their actual cassette tapes. This is back in the day. But
I
yeah,
love it.
as far as hip hop stuff, like I was really big into Z Trip, DJ AM, like those
Okay,
guys
sure.
got, when I started getting into like hip hop and top 40, those two really got me into, learning how to mix and do fun word plays and things like that.
Oh, okay, that's what's up. Now, do you? How much of your club? I guess how your club style of DJing do you take over into your wedding side? Like, because I mean, I hear you like really destroy some mixes and stuff with your wedding, and I like that aspect of it. But I'm almost willing to bet that you're holding back on the weddings that you could absolutely do a lot more and stuff with them. But I can see you kind of like throw something out there and see if it sticks, and if they like it, throw a little something extra out there. I can tell that by how you're DJing. So how much are you like holding back when you go out to a wedding and you're incorporating some of that style?
I don't hold back too much. Like I can beat juggle, I can scratch. I don't really toss that stuff out at weddings just because it's not going to go over well with non DJs or non hip hop heads, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
I'll baby scratch. I'll do a little bit of scratching, but it's usually like scratching in an acapella, or I'm not like pulling out the oh yeah or the ah, like scratches. They're probably not going to go over at a wedding. But if it's like an acapella, oh yeah, you'd have people going like, "What the hell is this guy doing?
Right. What's this guy doing?
We're listening to the Beach Boys, dude. What the hell are you doing to us?"
I got to do that at my next wedding. Just see what people say. Oh yeah, right there in the middle of it. Yep.
Yeah, funky fresh.
Oh my
Some good ones.
gosh.
Yeah, but so, to answer your question in a nutshell, I don't hold back. Like when it comes to mixing and stuff, a little bit. Like you definitely want to make sure that you're keeping it simple,
Right.
but giving them more than they're expecting. I guess those oohs and ahs when you're mixing, like those are what I live for as a DJ, and I think
Oh
most
yeah.
of us do as well.
Yeah, and if you guys haven't had a chance to, definitely check out his YouTube channel, because this is where I found him. And he, one of the things that drew me to him is the style that he plays the music in, and how he does his sets. I mean, it's never the same thing, at least from what I've seen so far. It's never the same thing over and over, but it's like he'll take, in one video he may play this song in this area, and then in the next video he's got another song before, but you can tell it's coming in. Like the blends and everything are just really good. You can see the crowd's response and stuff to it, like they are eating out of the palm of his hand. It is just it's just really good.
Thank you.
And like I say, man, like it is it's some good stuff. And another thing that drew me to your channel is the fact that you were using the Rev 7, and I was like, okay, this is the capability of the Rev 7, and this is somebody who's like me. He's doing a wedding. I can see what he's doing, and I can hear that this is possible, because I was still trying to learn on the Rev 7. I was still learning how to use it, what it could do, because it was night and day from the 1000 SRT to a Rev 7, and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know what any of this does. I have no idea. And so watching videos like yours, it just gives you a little bit of confidence and stuff like that, that you could do stuff like that. And of course, going to my tables and stuff like that, I actually was more comfortable on my tables than the Rev 7, because the tables have similar capabilities that the 1000 had, but the Rev 7 was a whole different animal. It was like a whole different thing, like something brand new.
Oh
So
yeah,
it was just crazy.
Yeah, it's like CDJs in a 900, and that's kind of
Yes.
because I had the 1000 SRT before the Rev 7 came out. I DJ'd with that for at least a year.
Yeah.
It's a solid piece of machinery. I still have it in storage, It's like two CDJ 900s and a DJ 900 mixer all shoved into a controller.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. It's damn near perfect.
Yeah. I love it.
But yeah, you're rocking with the S, but the Rev 7 is battle mixer. Like once you
Right.
start to get used to it, there's no going back. Like now you're on the S11,
Yep.
and that's kind of like a much more advanced. I'm using the S9 with these Cross 12s, and I really want an S11, but I almost bought one earlier today. Actually, I just bought a new bass boss system, so I got two bass boss subs and two tops, and they're expensive. So I think the S11 will have to wait.
Oh, so that's what we're gonna be taking out to weddings and stuff now? Some baseball equipment?
Sometimes I'll probably charge extra for it. It was like 13.
What you say? You got to make that money back.
Yeah, I'll probably charge extra for it. But you know, it's the people who book me here in Portland. Like I have a niche. Like they want that club feel at the end of
Right.
their night, and I express that. So if you're a DJ out there, I always have a Zoom consult with couples, unless they really push for a phone call, which is very rare. But I'll always talk to the couples via Zoom, and I'll be like, "Hey, this is what I got. What? First off, what's your vision for your wedding? What are your music tastes?" And then after they tell me about their expectations and what they want at their wedding, then I'll let them know, "Hey, I got this style. This is what I'm specializing in. I still want you to have a beautiful ceremony and have a very relaxed and fun reception. But I'm the type of DJ. If you book me, let's light that dance floor up at the end of the night." 2000s hip hop, today's hits, EDM. That's what I specialize in. So sometimes I turn couples away. I'm like, sorry, that might not be a good fit for me. I wish you all the best. Here's a couple DJs that might be best for you. And you got to learn to manage that as well. If you're still starting off at the bottom and you need every event to get started, by all means, take it all. I did. But once you build your brand, you can kind of pick and choose where you want to go.
Yeah, he is not lying about that. Now, I do like a challenge though. I think a little bit of my ego jumps in and stuff a little bit. I mean, being a DJ, you're going to have an ego. It's just inevitable. There's nothing you can do. You can't get around it. You can try to stay as grounded as you want to, but you're going to have a little bit of an ego. When I being from the South and stuff over here, I get a lot of people who love country. They love country. Yeah. They love country music, and that is a weakness of mine. I mean, it's
mine too.
It is very tough to play country. I mean, one of the first questions. This is how bad I don't know country. One of the first questions I ask for somebody who says, I want some country. I'm like, do you want old or new country? Because I have it all. I don't know how to separate it and stuff just yet. I know what's popular. I know what people sing along to. I just don't know what you would dance to. I have no idea what country music to play for somebody to dance to. And it's just like, do I take this gig or should I refer this couple someplace else? But they've sought me out and they love what I do. But if you love what I do, why did you pick me and ask for country? Like, it's crazy. So I understand what you mean by qualifying yourself. We've talked about that on this channel and stuff too. Like, you may have to turn some stuff away because it's not your strength, or you can make it become your strength and take it on and take it as a challenge. I did. It worked out well. The gig that the dad came up to me and was on me, that was a country wedding. They just got tired of country music. So from what I understand, it was a lot of her crowd that was a little bit older wanted the country, and I guess told him to make sure that I played a good bit of country. And then she came over and was like, can we do something outside of country? I'm like, well, this is what you asked me for. I can definitely do more. And then once I did more, they will, it turned into that. And that's where the whole back and forth with dad came. So tough sailing sometimes.
Yeah. So it's really rough when you have one of the parents. I have some horror stories I've thought about sharing on YouTube, but it's like, I also don't want to like spread, old fire around that. I've had some events that have scarred me, where I'm driving home and I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. Cause people treat you like absolute shite sometimes. So
they do.
For them.
No, you're good.
And
you're good.
It's tough, if they're, they're drunk and I've been, I'm skinny, but I can hold my own. But like people, like drunk guys, if they're like, hey, why haven't you played my damn song? I'm like, I'll try to get to it, man. Let me see if it works. But you just got to kind of do what you got to do and put out fires as they come around. But when it comes to like those like country songs or just the songs that probably won't go off at peak hour,
Mhm.
I'll throw that out at the beginning. Like usually the first half an hour, I'll get those right at them. I'll like sneak them in somewhere. I'm like, all right in between Bruno Mars. I'll
Yep.
sneak in like Boot Scoot and Boogie if they
Yeah.
want to hear some country. Tennessee whiskey, universally loved. Everyone knows them. They are a banger, but I'm not going to stay on them the whole song for the most part.
Right. Right. I totally agree and stuff, man. And look, you're going to still. I mean, no matter what you do, you're not going to please everybody. I mean,
No,
everybody's not going to be happy with what you do, but as long as most people are, that's the goal. That's all of our goals.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
1,000%.
yeah, that's a successful night. So okay, so I wanted to do a little thing and stuff for him. Let me see if I've got any questions. Make sure I'm good. Okay, everybody's good. All right. I want to do a would you rather. Now, a would you rather on here. I haven't normally done this, but like I said, we were so much alike. I wanted to see just how alike we are. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I love it.
so now we're going to talk when I ask you these would you rather's. This doesn't have to do anything with money. Okay, so
Okay.
just take money out of the picture and just say which one would you rather have, and then I've got just two questions at the end, and we'll go ahead and let you go. So,
Yes, sir.
all right. So, money, no object, no matter what you got paid. Would you rather do a club or wedding?
That's a tough one. I'd probably flip flop back and forth.
But you had to pick one. You had to quit the other one.
It depends upon the club. It depends upon the wedding. If I had to like do one forever,
Yeah, like as your career
wedding.
going forward.
Weddings, no question.
Wedding.
The,
All
the
right.
money and the fun times are there.
All right. Apple or PC?
Oh, if you're not on Apple, I don't even know. If I want to talk.
Now hold on now. Now hold on. Wait a
No,
minute.
I'm just kidding.
Wait a minute now. Everybody that's on PC is not terrible. I mean, I'm running this show on Apple. I'm using the Apple on this show.
No, totally joking. It's really preference. I've been on Apple, I'd say like 8 years, and it's just never failed me. When I first started DJing weddings, I was on PC, and they were bottom of the barrel laptops. But ever since I switched to Apple, I haven't had an issue. I love how they sync with each other. So, short answer, Apple, baby.
Apple. Okay. I might switch over to Apple. Who knows? All right. I think I know the answer to this next one. Turntables or controller?
Oh, turntables all day long.
All right. Furniture or facade?
Furniture. If you have the money for it, furniture is the way to go. If you don't, use the facade, or tuck your cables in. If you're just doing the table and the tablecloth thing, just make sure it looks pretty.
Yes, please make sure and cover up your system if you're going to be doing it. Just get a little table facade, not the one that goes on the ground, but please just cover up your equipment. I walked into a wedding one time. Guy had speakers and stuff up, but he had all his equipment exposed on the table, wires going down. Oh, it was nightmare. Horrible. Now, how could he be in the picture? Van or trailer?
Oh, van. So I have a Forerunner. Yeah, I do a lot of gigs in the city, and just a trailer parking that thing would be an absolute nightmare. I actually have my CDL Class A, so I've used to drive big rigs before I went to this full time. I could drive a trailer, no problem.
Okay.
But I just don't want the inconvenience of not being able to find parking down in the city. So van.
I can understand that because I pull a trailer. Now I've just bought my truck 2 years ago, and I already had the trailer because I had a Trailblazer before that, but then the Trailblazer crapped out. I had to start using U-Haul vans, and
I remember that. Yeah.
it was great to have the van because of the convenience of not having a trailer. The problem with the van is, and I know you can buy ramps and stuff down, but getting that stuff on and off back there, it was at the end of the night. That is a pain in the ass. Like that is one of the worst things because you have to lift every piece of equipment into the van, every one. And so I got a trailer that's got the lip down, and I can just roll in, and that's just my back is like, thank you.
Yeah. No, that's the goal. Definitely would love to have one. I have a lifted Forerunner, so I'm lifting everything higher than normal to get it in there. It sucks.
Yeah. So I understand your inconvenience and stuff with having the trailer and stuff like that. I think downtown parking is a bear every place I go, but because I get there so early, I'm able to kind of find somewhere all the time, which is it's just I think I've just kind of lucked out and found somewhere. But I understand why you say that.
Yeah,
um,
definitely.
let's see here. Where was I? Oh, okay. Um, hard cases or bags?
Oh, hard cases if you can.
Okay.
Protect your equipment. I do have like some soft cases for some things, but they tend to get nicked and scratched pretty easily, and most of that happens during your transportation. So if you're able to, if you have the space and you have the money, get some hard cases.
I can't tell you how many things that have broken in transit instead
Yeah.
of at the actual gig. You're so right, because putting stuff on top of stuff and squeezing stuff in, and stuff is like really wedged in and stuff. Now it's just become like this whole Tetris thing to me. Like if anybody played Tetris back in the day, at the end of the night when I'm trying to fit stuff back in, or right before it's time to load up for the gig, everything just has a certain place. Like if I organize, it's like, okay, if I put that here and it locks there, if I turn it this way, things like that. It's fantastic. That's how I do it every time. It's like a game to me.
Yeah. Yeah, for
So,
sure.
so here's the two questions here. What is one thing in your current setup that if you had to let it go, you'd let it go?
Oh, I have some JMAs. I think they're like $1,000 each, just moving headlights and totems. I don't use them very often.
Okay.
Usually larger events, I charge more for them because they're just, I mean, they're expensive and they're extra work. So if people want to pay for them, it's on the table. But yeah, if that's one piece of gear I had to let go, that would be it. I only use them a handful of times a year, and it's not that much extra. I think I charge like 250 to bring along the big bad boys.
And when you go out and stuff like that, I guess for all your setup and your packages and stuff like that, do you offer things like dancing on the cloud and cold spark? Do you offer all that out there? Is that a big thing out there, or that's no?
No, so it's not a huge thing out here. I do, the salsa photo booth. I have both up lights. I've been rocking both for a few years now. And then just I have moving headlights, but they're the small ones that I can clip onto my RCF Evox 12 poles. So you clip them onto the poles, and the poles can bear the weight. So I have the basics, nothing over the top. Cold sparks, the juice doesn't seem worth the squeeze to me. I mean, by all means, if that's your thing, awesome. They look badass. It's just not my cup of tea. I want to keep my setup as streamlined as possible.
Gotcha. I see that we think so much alike and stuff too. Because when I saw the Jersey crew and stuff, everybody that's in that area, and they started pulling out cold sparks and it's dancing on the cloud, and I'm like, why doesn't that translate and stuff down south? Like I don't see a lot of people asking for that, and then you get like this one couple who went to a wedding that's up in that area, and they have it, and then it's in their pictures, and then another couple says, oh, I want to do that too, and then that's how it kind of spreads. So now cold sparks, I'll probably rent those things out maybe 6-7 times a year,
Okay.
and it's become worth it. But at first I was very hesitant until I started getting asked for it, and I was like, okay, one more person asked me for those cold sparks, and I'm going to buy them. And sure enough, the somebody else did, and I bought 4 of them, and I'm
Nice.
sending those things off, constantly. I get coordinators asking me for them. I get brides asking me, and same weekend stuff. So it's become worth it. They've already paid themselves off and stuff since I've got them. So I'm
That's
like,
awesome.
anything at this point is just pure profit and stuff.
Yeah.
So, if it doesn't become a fad, I've already made the money back, and I've made a little bit of dough and stuff off of it. So if it goes away, I'm cool with it. I'll sell them. I'll sell them for
Yeah.
dirt cheap and move on.
Yeah. The only thing I've thought, like, because that's bougie stuff to me, and it's awesome by all means. Like if that's your thing, it definitely makes an event better. Why not pour some ice cream on top of your cake? That sounds good to me. I have thought about getting one of the club cannon things.
Okay.
It's just
Okay.
like that might bring that along and feature that, but cold sparks and dancing on the clouds. I'm a one man show, so I just think it's a little bit more than I can handle personally.
I knew there was something about you, Casey. I knew it. Yep.
Oh
Yep.
man.
I say that. I say that so much. I'm a one-man show, and that's all I can do. I cannot let you work a club cannon over here and make sure my cold sparks go off while dancing on the cloud. I got to push the thing around. I can't do all that and DJ. I'm a DJ.
Somebody's knocking the photo booth over.
Right. I'm a DJ. This is all I can do.
Yeah.
If your mic's out, then I'm good. We can figure that out together, but not club cannons and all this extra crap you got. Oh,
100%.
man. This is crazy. All right. I have one more question for you, but we had a question from the chat here. Let's see if I can get it to, there we go. It says, DJ Casey K, what finally got you to start a YouTube channel? I've really enjoyed your content.
Well, first off, I'd like to say thanks for the question, PV. It means a lot that you're watching me and spending time on my channel. But no, that's a great thing. Honestly, it's JayBook and Spinelli and you know, all the other Strawn. Like, just watching those guys gave me inspiration. I thought in my head, I'm like, that looks awesome. I'd love to be able to spread the information that I've gathered and help other people out. Plus, like, you know, there's a cool thing about having people know you. You know, it's not all giving back. You're doing some of it for yourself. Right. Not a lot. Like, I'm a big giver in life. But yeah, watching other DJs and getting inspiration, getting ideas from you guys. You know, I only have like 8 or 9 videos up on my YouTube channel. It just took off. It just hit like wildfire. My first gig log has like 60,000 views, and I only posted it earlier this year. I was like, holy shit, maybe I should continue to do this.
Right.
But yeah, it's the off season. As you can see behind me, you know, I've been dialing my studio in. So I am right now learning, because I've been editing on iMovie. I don't know about you guys, but all the Adobe Audition, it seems like a whole can of worms. It's really difficult to learn all that stuff.
Yep.
So trying to learn a new editing software and just spend the time in my office editing video. That's the biggest hurdle that I've found with making YouTube videos.
That's what's up, right? You know, I tell these guys and stuff like that one of the reasons I do videos is because it saved my DJ career. You know, before I started putting videos and stuff up, I literally was about to quit DJing. It just got repetitive. It was the same old. I wasn't making the money and stuff that I thought that warranted, you know, to continue to do it. And this was, you know, back in 2000, I want to say 13, 14, somewhere around that. And I was working at a tax office, and I had access to the internet. So, you know, while nobody was in there and stuff, because it was like, you know, February 1st or January something, I'm just sitting in there. I go on YouTube and, you know, I type in, I think it was mobile DJ or DJ or something like that. And the first video that came up was Rick Webb. I don't know.
On time.
Yeah, I don't know how that came up or how that came about, but when I looked at his, you know, some of his early videos, I realized he's a lot like, you know, you and I. Like he was doing the same thing that I was doing. I was like, well, wow, he's got stuff on YouTube, and I said, well, I can do that. I can put that out there. I can make that. So some of my early videos are really, really terrible and stuff, and it's really, really bad. And I'm just like, how can I make this better? And it just kind of ignited me and stuff again. So from that point on, I just started making videos and posting and editing. I looked at it the other day, and I think I'm at oh gosh, how many videos am I at? 500? I've edited 500 videos on this channel, and it's all been me. I haven't shopped any of that stuff out. Nobody takes my videos and breaks it down. I do every last one of them. And when I started my own business and stuff like that, because I still didn't know what I wanted to do with the YouTube channel. I knew I had it, and I was like, oh, it'll just get me subscribers, and that'll be great, and let's just go with that. But then when I got my own business, a few broads asked me, you know, you have anything that I could see you performing at? And I was like, light bulb. Hello. Nice. Yeah, why don't you just pop on my YouTube channel? That just gave me even more reason to make the channel. YouTube just gives me new hope and new strategies and new ways of doing stuff and seeing other DJs do stuff, just like how you did. You looked at stuff that we were doing and you were like, you know what? I bet you if I did that, like, it just gets the ideas rolling. And that's what I love about it. I love when these guys ask me questions and pick my brain because, I want to pass on that information and some of the information that I didn't get and stuff during that time. I didn't get the ins and outs. I didn't get the I don't want to say the dark side, but I didn't get the side that nobody sees. Nobody gets to see and stuff like that. So I like giving nuggets. I like giving, just information and passing that out to each and everybody. And it gives me satisfaction to do that. That's why it's just like, come on, let's do some stuff you too. That's what this podcast was for. Cause I was like, why would I start a podcast? What would I talk about? And then it dawned on me. Everybody who asked me all those questions in the comments, why don't you just come join the podcast? I'll answer it live. Right here. I'll answer it right now. I'll dedicate an hour a week right now to answering everything. And that's how the podcast started. So it's just one of those great things and stuff, man. I absolutely love it.
Well, we all appreciate it, JayBook.
Oh, no problem. Let's see. DJ Torture, what's the best and safest cold sparks? I can only tell you from what I have, and I got the ones off of eBay through China. I mean, they've been great. They haven't had any problems. I've had them for 2 years now, and they're great. Chauvin is the one that costs the Chauvin, something like that. They cost a lot. I think you got to have a card and a key and be registered and all this stuff with it. I mean, if you really wanted to fork out that amount of money, you could go the Chauvin route, but myself, I've done the ones on eBay. I think both lighting has uplighting and not uplighting, cold sparks and stuff as well. You could check them out as well too.
The safest ones are no cold sparks at all.
How did I know he was going to say that? Let's see. More entertainment. Hey, don't y'all deal with burnout? I'm working full time at my job and work weddings and weekends starting to. I'll let you go first on that one, Casey, because I've got a story on that one too.
Well, hopefully you're younger, somewhere in your 20s and 30s, because it's going to be a little bit easier on you. I did the same thing. I was driving truck, 50 hours a week and then DJing Saturday and Sunday, and I burnt myself out really quick. I did get Mondays off, but one day off is not enough to recharge the batteries. So try to find in the near future, if you can, try to find a happy balance, because not only are you going to get stale of what you're doing, but you're going to burn yourself out. And you're not going to be good to either one of your jobs. So if you can, find a compromise to keep them both in your life.
I could not agree more. Yes, I got burnt out. I'm at 50, right around 55, 60 gigs. Before I started my own company, the company I had worked, I think I was right up there at like 60 some odd gigs. And I did feel a little bit of burnout, but like I said, everything has just rejuvenated me. Having my own business, updating the YouTube, doing all this extra stuff, putting stuff together that I never thought that I would put together. It's all rejuvenated me and stuff. And so I don't experience as much burnout. Some of those weekends, I'm not going to lie, they will burn you out. Like there's no way I could do what Casey does. When he does Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, week after week after week, no, that's trouble for me. There's no way. I have to have a crew and stuff for that. I cannot do those, constantly back to back to back. I probably can do those maybe twice a month, if that, but not 4 times a month. Nah, there's no way. There's no way. Money is great, but I don't think my body could take that. I would have to sit down at the gig.
I'll be 40 in March, and I don't feel it, but my body sure does. So We'll see how much longer I'm able to do this. This is why I'm doing it now, because I know I got it in me now. I'm trying to build my brand a little bit more, hire some DJs on, and hopefully here in another handful of years, just let other people make myself money while I'm able to give them jobs, and round it goes.
Boy, we just. Oh, got it.
We're locked in, bro.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Oh, man. I look, when I have conversations with myself, it's like talking to you, because that's I'm telling you, that's what I say to myself. If I could just get some people, man. I told you what my goal is. Just walk into the gig, and other people have already set it up. I'm telling you. Yeah, y'all can leave and go home. I just need you to come back and tear it down.
Have like a WWE entrance song. Like Stone Cold, you hear the glass break. JayBook's in the
Y'all ready? Let's get this thing going. So crazy. Let's see. DJ Metro NYC ask, I'm debating between the Yamaha MG10XU and the Mackie Pro FX 10 V3. Now, I haven't dealt with the Mackie Pro FX 10 V3, but I love that Yamaha. I love it. That's not the one that I use when I'm using the Rev 7 or when I'm using the S11. I use that one for when I have multiple people who need to do stuff with ceremony, and it is absolutely fantastic. So I don't know if you have, Casey, if you've used the other one or if you've used the Yamaha, but I know that Yamaha MG10XU, I love it. I would definitely vouch for that system.
Hell yeah.
Let's see here. Metro asked another one. Hey, needing some advice between, yeah, oh no, that's the same thing. Okay. Lazy kid. Ask somebody else. Okay. Okay, so my last question for you, and let's see here. I think I got, yeah, here we go. All right, so what is your dream gig? Your dream gig, like something that you could say, man, I can't believe that DJing has allowed me to be able to reach this point, and now I'm doing this. What is this?
So a dream gig, like there's some venues around Portland that are just really high ends. There's a venue here called like the Nines Hotel. It's swank. They're always doing higher end events. I try to pretty much only do those luxury events. I'm down to do anything for the most part, but a dream gig would be somewhere super bougie. They have a loading dock where I can just back right up to. They've got an elevator right next to the loading dock. It's wide enough that I can fit all my gear in that bad boy in one trip. They have staff that are like, hey, can I help you carry that? Heck yeah, you can help me carry that, bro. Thank you so much, by the way. And then the elevator just takes you up there. Everyone's having a good time. The couples chill. All their guests are super friendly. They go off on the dance floor. Everything goes perfect. I mean, I think this is just, goes without saying, but that would be my ideal gig, super beautiful, super fun, very easygoing, no hiccups whatsoever. And the dance floor is just ripped up all night long.
Now, so like if you had an opportunity to do something out of weddings, would that still be your dream gig?
What do you mean?
Like, you could open up for your favorite artists. You could DJ for a sports team. You could travel to Paris to DJ. You could, it could be anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it could be anything.
I'm a homebody. I don't think the touring thing would be something that I'd want to do, at least like all the time. I do like my own bed. I love my family. But I say like dream gigs, I love weddings. I just love them. They're so much fun. You get to work with other people at the same time. If it was a club thing, cool, but again, like there are different challenges is a good way of putting it. So I think I'll stick to weddings.
All right. Hey, I tell everybody every week, and every time I ask that question, that my dream gig is to either do one or two things. One, play, like be the opener for an artist that's here, locally and stuff. Or two, be the arena DJ for like a sports team. Like, what's close to me is like Charlotte. So if I could be like the Panthers, like DJ for them, or if I can be the Hornets DJ and stuff for their basketball team, something like that. So something like that. Just give me one night and stuff on that. I don't have to do it every single night. I just want to do it one time and stuff.
Just pay me the same.
Right. Well, yeah, definitely pay me the same. Like you're not getting away with giving me peanuts just for my dream event. Pay would have to be great. So.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun, especially the arena thing and playing for one of your favorite sports teams. That's a cool dream gig. I agree.
Yeah, I would love to do that, man. That would be awesome. Now, if I could really get dreamy, it would be, to like be the DJ for the Packers. That's my football team, and
Is that your team?
yeah, just something like that. Like that would be great to me. Like to go up there and play there, just not when it's right now because it's way too cold, way too
Yes.
cold up there right now. So definitely a September or October event and stuff there.
100%.
And I can
Yeah,
crack
early
that.
season.
Right, right.
We do the preseason games. We'll call it square.
Right, right. Well, Casey, man, I really appreciate you coming through and stuff tonight, man. You have been an awesome, awesome guest. I knew I was just going to be able to chop it up and stuff with you, and you exceeded my expectations. So
Oh, thanks,
I
dude.
really appreciate you coming through and kicking it with us. Hopefully we can have you back. Maybe even later this year and stuff, man. I know you said it's the downtime for you now. When does it pick up for you?
May. It's usually
May.
like May to late October is my busy season, but you holler at me anytime.
Okay.
I thanks for everybody for watching. Jay, I care about you. Thank you so much for the content and the inspiration. I wouldn't be here without you. So thanks to you, my friend.
Oh, man, I appreciate that. And thanks so much for coming through, man. If you guys want to check out Casey K, make sure you check him out on Instagram and YouTube. It is the same handle that's right there on the screen at DJ Casey K. He is a great dude, man. You will not be disappointed in his content. Trust me. All right, bro. Well, we'll be talking soon, man. Appreciate you so much.
You too, Jay. Peace out.
Bro. All right. Man, what a great convo and stuff with Casey, man. A great dude. You guys make sure you go give him a follow, man. Like I said, I like highlighting DJs and stuff that, I have taken a look at and they just produce great quality content. Casey, you could see he's just a good dude and stuff, man. So really appreciate him coming through. Now, that for now is the end of my interview series. I've done 3 in a row. And I'm working on some people. And I'm working on some people. So I'll give you a hint. I might be really, really close to getting DJ TLM and stuff on the show, which is going to be absolutely another fantastic guest. I've got in the works our first woman guest as well, who is absolutely cold. We're just finalizing a date and stuff now. And then I've got greatness in the horizon, guys. So make sure you stay tuned and stuff. Follow me if you haven't already done so. Once again, Twitch will be up and running, hopefully, probably next week. I haven't really set a time. I will be doing some practice, some trial runs. So if you guys want to follow me on Twitch, I will have that up and running. It's just DJ JayBook. I try to keep it simple everywhere. Follow me on Instagram as well so that you can keep up with all the content and all the guests that I have in store. Appreciate you guys checking me out and stuff tonight. We'll be back again next week, 7 p.m. EST, right here on Twisted Transitions. If you have a gig this week, make sure you kill it. And if you don't have a gig, enjoy your vacation. Make sure you live in to strive and not to survive. We'll see you next week. Thanks, guys. Peace.